on to week 3. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in for another Chicago Bears preview as the Bears once again sit at 1-1 travel on the road to take on the Indianapolis Colts, who are a 0-2 football team. And there's a lot to get into with both squads, both on both sides of the ball. And I'm not going to make this intro any longer. It's time to talk about some Chicago Bears football. Without further ado, let's dive into it. First, we're going to talk about this Bears offense going up against this Colts defense. Now, one of the things that could trouble the Bears offense in this ball game, it's not their own play, is injuries. You still have Keenan dealing with the heel, Odunze with the knee injury. Then you have Kari Blasingame, who didn't play last week with Allen with his injury. Then you have two added injuries. Tevin Jenkins at left guard with his injury. Also Nate Davis with his injury, even though I don't believe in Nate Davis and he doesn't block anybody, but that's neither here nor there. The Bears already have deficiencies coming into this game as to the way the offense has been operating these first 2 weeks of the season. Caleb Williams still doesn't have his first career passing touchdown. We only have one offensive touchdown, and that was the Khalil Herbert run last week at the goal line. What's going on with this offense is, number one, the Bears offense cannot pass protect, which let up 7 sacks last week and a total of 9 for the season. But the one thing that the Colts haven't really been doing all season, they had 4 sacks as a unit defensively, and also the Bears have struggled running the football, which the Colts have let up over 200 rushing yards in each of their first 2 games, week 1 against the Texans and last week against the Packers. If the Bears can be stout enough and improve inside and improve in their running game with Swift, with Herbert, I would like to see Roschon Johnson a little bit more, to be honest with you. I know Homer and Herbert and Swift have been over him, especially Homer being more of the special teams guy. But the Bears in this ball game have to improve their offensive line and take advantage of the Colts' porous run defense that doesn't have DeForest Buckner, who's on IR. Stewart and Arborio up the middle have just not played very good football for this Indianapolis Colts defense. And I think even if Odunze and Allen both are able to go, I would assume more Odunze more be able to go. They have to take advantage of this porous run defense, whether it's running a football, whether it's different design runs that can expose the middle of this defense, even though it's easier said than done because our offensive line has just been porous, especially up the middle. And on top of that, this Colts team doesn't really get after the quarterback, and Jones and Darnell Wright up front can possibly have some really solid games for this Bears offense, protecting Caleb Williams. And that is the one thing that you're going to have to do. When Caleb Williams has been protected, he has not looked bad. He's missed some throws, but I told you guys from the get-go, it's going to take some time for this offense to click. When we're talking about this Colts defense, you can have it. If the Bears are able to run the football, you can run some play action, clean up the pocket for Caleb Williams. But one thing, this is a copycat NFL. This is a copycat league. So one thing that you can possibly expect the Colts to do is try to blitz a bit more. Try to copy what the Houston Texans did last week as far as blitzing, as far as getting things up the middle to sort of create those pressures. So I think one thing that you can kind of do to kind of scale back some of that is be effective on first and second down, running the football. That way you don't put yourself in those third and long situations, second and long situations, predictable passing situations. If you're able to run the football effectively on first and second down, especially against the defense that had let up 200 yards rushing in each of their first 2 games, which is proving they are not stout up the middle. So the key for this Bears offense, number one, run the football effectively on first and second down. 2, run play action off of effectively running the football. And 3, health, of course, and attack the secondary, which I think Kenny Moore is a very good player, but outside of that, I don't really see this Colts defense doing too much in the passing game, especially if you're able to run a football so effectively. That scales back a lot of the blitzes, that scales back a lot of what they could possibly do to get pressure after the quarterback. And we're talking about a Colts team that doesn't pressure the quarterback well. I'm just looking for the Bears to effectively run the football. Of course, we got to see if the injuries are held up on the offensive line, but run the football effectively, and the Bears will have more of a chance to win this ball game on the road. Today's video is brought to you by Cellular C4. This is a product that I personally used before I even decided to partner with them. And the first thing I got introduced to was the energy drinks by C4. This right here is a fruit punch flavor. They have many other flavors. They have popsicle flavors that just dropped. They have Skittles, Starburst, all the type of flavors that you want. To help you get started with your day, you can wake up in the morning before you start your day and drink you one of those. And also before you get that workout in, when it's workout day, you can take you some pre-workout to help you get the boost in your workout. All the products, 0 sugar, low calories. This is a great product to take you in your workouts and your journey on fitness to the next level. And I am happy to partner with a product that I was already using in my own personal life. And I will leave my code in the description below to save you guys 20% on your first purchase of C4, of their workouts. They even have muscle recovery to help boost after workouts. They have so many supplements and things to help you on your fitness journey, and you can get yours today in the description below. Click the link and use my code APW Sports to help you save 20%. And again, the links are in the description below, and use the code APW Sports to save you 20% on your purchase. Now, it is time to get back into the video. Now we're going to talk about this Bears defense against this Colts offense. Now, the Bears defense, just like offensively, have some injury questions. Whether it's Montez Sweat, Andrew Billings, Pickens, and DeMarcus Walker, all on your defensive line that are questionable for this ball game. We're going to have to keep an eye on that from the time of me recording this video into game time. Assuming these guys are healthy. The Colts, they like to run the football, and they kind of like to set up some of that play action and try to get Anthony Richardson to attack deep down the field. I think the Colts, the first 2 weeks, they did face the Texans defense, but I think this defense for the Bears is probably one of the better defenses in the NFL, and we've seen that through the first 2 weeks. The Bears have been doing things with blitzes. Sam Bourne has been doing things in the run game with his blitzes, Edmunds, and assuming the defensive front is healthy, I'm going to look for a bit of a heavier dose of a Jonathan Taylor to try to get some things and make things easier for Anthony Richardson with Shane Steichen's offense, as he comes from that Philly system, and the Colts are a team that likes to run the football, and they're going to try to run the football against this Bears defense, especially if it's not a healthy defensive front. I've liked what I've seen from Billings and Dexter's in the interior. I want to say after the first half of the Tennessee Titans game, this defensive unit has been stout. The one thing that the Bears defensive unit has done is create turnovers. Now, we didn't get any interceptions last week because C.J. Stroud is one of the more accurate quarterbacks from the Ohio State University. You know, I got to plug that in. He's one of the more accurate quarterbacks. But what kept us in this game last week was the forced fumble at the goal line, which is something the Bears have done these first 2 weeks, is find ways to create turnovers and find ways to get your offense good field position. And it does help that Tory Taylor has been punting the ball very well, for the fact of it puts the teams back in further situations. You can have a little bit more mobility with your defense. These linebackers can fly around. You can get after the quarterback. And Sweat hasn't been that big of an impact as far as numbers go, but you can tell the things that he's been doing is kind of opening up this Chicago Bears defense for other people to eat. Where we talk about Ryan Kelly and Quentin Nelson up front, who I think are two very good interior linemen with Nelson, I think, being one of the better guards that we have in this professional NFL, they are going to try to run the football, especially if the Bears aren't healthy, and set up some of that play action so Anthony Richardson can get the ball to guys like Pittman, Downs, and Pierce, who are very solid wide receivers in this league. So I think the key for this Bears defense, in order for them to have some success against this Indianapolis Colts offense, of course, easily thing is create some turnovers against a young quarterback. Bears have one on their own, but create some turnovers. Make sure you're stout in the middle up front, because the Colts are going to try to run the football to set up some of their play action, to set up some of the things to make life easier for Richardson, and have Ryan Kelly and Quentin Nelson up front, those two interior offensive linemen, try to dominate this game. The Bears have the secondary with Stevenson and Johnson, Brisker, and I love what Khalil Gordon has been doing throughout these first 2 weeks, whether it's blitzing, whether it's in a running game. I've loved what he's been doing, so I think Khalil Gordon is probably the X factor coming into this game with this Bears defense. If he makes some of those plays, whether it's blitzing, blatting down balls at the line of scrimmage, getting involved, I think he is the X factor, and he is going to be key in this Chicago Bears game, in this defense, having success against the Indianapolis Colts offense that had some struggles, especially last week against the Packers. They did have some success against the Texans, but I think the style of defense the Bears have been playing the first 2 weeks, I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Anthony Richardson to attack the ball downfield. And this defense, the way they've been running, stopping the run and getting after the quarterback, could make life difficult. But with all that said, my pick for this ball game is going to be, I am going to roll with the roll team, the Chicago Bears, and I'm picking a score of 17-14. This is why. The Colts don't stop the run. And even though the Bears' interior of the offensive line hasn't been good, I think they are going to improve enough for them to run the football effectively on this Indianapolis Colts offense and set up some of those play action plays and rollouts and give more time for Caleb Williams to spread the football to some of those weapons. I'm looking for Swift to be a big X factor on offense with his running ability, whether it's catching the ball out of the backfield in the screen game and running the football. And on top of that, I just really believe this Bears defense, if healthy, is going to make things rough for Jonathan Taylor trying to run the football up the middle. And I think the play of Khalil Gordon is going to be a big difference in the way this Bears defense is going to play. And we all know Jaylon Johnson is the best corner in the league, so I think his side is going to be shut down. And I think the Bears defensively are going to make life difficult for Anthony Richardson and cause some turnovers, probably get an interception or two. So I'm going to pick the Bears in this contest. It's going to be a close game because we'll have to see how health goes up for this Bears offensive line. But if healthy, I'm still picking the Bears to win this game, run the football effectively, create some turnovers, make things rough for Richardson, and get some pressure, even though he can change things with his running ability. But I'm still going to pick the Bears 17-14 to improve to 2-1 on the road. But that's all I have. Make sure you guys leave your thoughts and picks in the comment section down below. I would love to see what you guys think. I am APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great next day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.